We're going to be talking about gap assessments, and today what we're going to do is we're going to look at the CIS critical security controls, and we're going to go ahead and export a gap assessment. After we export that assessment, we're going to go ahead and analyze and look at why we are at the percentage of completion that we are at, the 11% that you can see on the screen. Then what we're going to do is we're going to remediate one of those controls, and then we're going to export the gap assessment again so we can see our progress. So first we'll just export the gap assessment as it is right now. So we can do that by clicking on the More button, and then we go down here to the Export Gap Assessment. This will save it as a PDF file. And then I want to go and look here onto the 5th page, Account Management. So 5.2, we're going to update this control right here. 5.2, we're going to update this, we're going to remediate it, and then after we do that, let's go and see how this updates our overall completion percentage. Okay, now that we're back here in Vanta, we can go ahead and go to the 5th section here, Account Management. And then we're going to go ahead and just do this control, 5.2. What we're going to do to update this, we're going to go ahead and click on it so we can see what we need to do to address this control. And then what we see here is we see what we need to do under the tests section in order to remediate this. So we need to have an approved access control policy, which we currently don't have on file. So luckily Vanta has a built-in tool to build an access control policy through Vanta. By just providing some basic input. So let's go ahead and walk through that process, get this control remediated, and then let's go see how it has updated our overall completion. So we can just click here on this, and it will tell us, needs attention, you don't have an approved access control policy yet. Remediate, click on there, and then they tell us how to remediate. Use our policy templates to create and approve a custom access control policy for your company. So let's go ahead and go through this process. Once we click on that, it takes us to the policy section here. And as you can see, access control policy, status not started. So we'll use Vanta's built-in tool to go ahead and create this access control policy. So we're just going to go through their walkthrough, and just for now I'm just going to take all of the defaults. It's going to essentially create us a default template that's going to have just the major requirements for an access control policy. And then we have the policy created, and we just click Submit for approval. So that policy is completed and approved. You can see if we click here on policies, we can scroll down to access control policy, and we see we have OK right here. After waiting a few minutes for the system to update, we can go ahead and go back to the framework screen, go back to CIS, and now we can see our completion percent is at 13% now, and we have 7 controls out of the 56 complete. So let's go look at this section 5 again. Here in section 5, we now have the control complete, 1 out of 1. So if we click on here, we can see that we now passed the test. The company has an approved access control policy.